Hi everybody, welcome back to those who've been hanging with me some time, and welcome to new people. I'm Adele Levine. Let's take a deep breath. Intuitive and medium. Yes, I just said this in because this is a little different video now, isn't it? I know that so many of you are at home right now, or even all around the world, maybe starting to have to be at home or look into this idea. Your children are at home. You just are getting word minute by minute the news is changing, and so I am not one to pretend and do a video that this isn't all going on. So, interesting enough, I know this is going to sound strange, but all of the work that I feel that I've been doing for, I know I've said this many times, so I feel dumb saying it again, but pretty much about 16 years, and all of the training I've been getting from that realm, and all of the lessons that I've learned, I swear to God, I feel that it's for this moment in time right now. Here's why I'm going to explain. Well, a long time ago, when I started this journey, long ago, we can have some humor. When I started this journey, in the beginning, I remember hearing about a shift that we were going to go through, that there was going to be a new shift, and that the two worlds were going to start to intertwine. And what that was shown to me, it meant that the physical world that we're in and another realm that we're in. Now, I'm not getting, before you hit the delete button, I'm not getting into doomsday. I'm not even getting into the aliens are coming. Don't worry. So just chill out. I'm talking about a consciousness and an awakening, and awareness is more what I'm referring to. So hold on. Let's keep it real. Get out your wine, coffee, tea, water, whatever you need to be doing at this time. Yeah, as long as you're safe and taking care of yourself and others, of course. And let's get into it for a minute, all right? I really feel that all of the times that I've talked about collective consciousness, interconnection, how we affect each other on a constant basis, how we all are doing a service to this world, is really being shown right now. And I'm like saying it in this way because this is really almost emotional and vulnerable for me, because I do feel like this intense energy, in the sense that if we are not being shown how what one person does affects the other clearly, it is right now. If we have never understood it, you are seeing it right now. All the times that I've tried to talk to people about the idea that the hierarchy doesn't exist in the other realm, that one person's job isn't more important than another person's job, that higher beings doesn't mean people or beings that are higher or more or better than others, but they have a higher understanding and a higher awareness. If we're not seeing that today, I don't know what else this is about, honestly. So for instance, if you notice that celebrities are coming out not only saying that they have this, but everyone has to cancel everything. Everyone has to stop what they're doing and promoting, in a sense, you know, the events and everything, and kind of stop and do this for each other, right? So that's on one level. On another level, there's restaurants and there's bars and there's schools, and there are all kinds of things that are coming to a halt, and we're realizing that all of these things have been interconnecting with each other all along. All this time, we have been leaning on each other to exist on this planet. And that's one way. The second way is in the sense of physical whereas we need to be isolated, we need to stay away from each other, we need to not infect one another. And by the way, if you are healthy and fine and young and all of that jazz, it's your responsibility, right, to make sure you're not affecting someone else who may affect someone else. And the interesting thing is we don't know all about it, right? So you could be carrying it and you don't know. It could be up in the air for long periods of time. You're not aware. So with that in mind, we actually have to see how we are affecting one another. So in other words, we don't have to see, we have to be aware is what I'm saying. And we're seeing that our behavior and how we are being and how we're handling ourselves is having an effect on someone else's life. This is not new. This has never been new. We have been living on this planet for a long time, for as long as I feel we've been here, affecting one another. But the illusion of race, gender, sexuality, income, region has all been about divide. Now the interesting thing is we have to stay away from each other, correct? Technically can't touch each other, have to have social distance. But the other interesting thing is, due to things like the YouTube, I was going to say the internet and YouTube and all kinds of internet apps and websites and all kinds of things, we can just go on, is interconnecting us. I know there has always been a lot of criticism about technology and spirituality. Blah, blah, blah. Sorry. Just keeping it real. I feel like this intensity that I want to say things right to you. But at the same time, I'm human, you know? Okay. So I've always believed that technology and spirituality and science doesn't have to work separate. And I've never been a spiritual person that has looked down on technology. I really don't. I believe in progression. I believe progression is the way we need to live. It's evolvement. It's creating a future, obviously. So through this technology, we're able to know things about each other and all kinds of events that are happening in all types of places and all areas around the world. Now, in anything that is created, there's a negative, meaning whenever there's a positive, there's a negative. That's how it is. An abuse to something. Something can be misused and used not for the greater good. But that's everything. You could do that with a pencil. You can do that with the internet. You see what I mean? Writing. You can write great words, or you can use words to hurt. So that's a given. But when we can see it physically happening, it helps you to understand how we are truly interconnected in all of these levels. So I'm trying to say, through the spiritual level, we're seeing how we need to lift each other's spirits, how we need to reach out and be there for the community. Think about the elderly, the children, people who are not having their income come in and being affected, right? That's one way. So that's the physical, economical way. Then we're seeing how it physically is affecting people and their health and all of that. And also, the spiritual and economic are not too different. So you see the economical way that it's affecting people, which then what brings down people's spirit. And so through that, people are trying to do things to say, okay, how can I lift people's spirit? How can I help people economically? How can I help people who need to know, who need to get to the doctor, or who need to have information of what they need to do with their physical self? So we're seeing what we can do to help, but we're also seeing that as we're trying to reach out and help someone else, it's helping you. What you're doing for someone else and thinking of that person is going to affect you. This is nothing new. This has been going on all a while, all this time. So when people are constantly wanting to understand what the spirit world is about, what higher beings, what guides, and all these terminologies, and I've been trying to say there's a collective whole trying to work together, you're seeing it. That's what we're doing. We all are individually having our own perspective and our situation going on, but we are collectively as a whole seeing how it's affecting all of us at once. You see, this is a barbaric version of that realm. Now, I hope I explain that right, because I'm kind of thinking about my words, that I want to make sure that I'm saying and covering things in a way that is clear and concise and makes sense and resonates and doesn't sound preachy. And I'm just being honest that I'm trying to do all of that at once. I don't rehearse these things. I like them to come through me. And I also don't want it to look robotic. So I want it to come through me, but I am human, and so my mind starts to think. So I hope that makes sense. Now, next, with all of that, now that we understand, or we're starting to see the interconnection of us all and how we interconnect, that there is a world outside this world. We need to do all of the things of this world. You need to do things, obviously, that is being told for us all to do, to wash our hands, to not go out, to be conscious of those around us, to not be in groups, all the things that we're being told. And we need to get our supplies, and we need to prepare, and we need to be smart, right? But there is a spiritual aspect. What I mean by spiritual is there is another realm that is trying to help us through what we're going through. And in that realm, you are seeing right now how far you are not from it. When people say, oh, that realm has to come here and it has to travel here, and I'm always trying to tell people, no, they don't have to travel, they don't have to come here, and all this type of stuff. This is what I mean. There's an interconnection, and they're aware, and they are involved. And so this is the time, when, more than any, that you need to wake up and not be afraid, to wake up and see the world behind the world, and let that world help you through this time. So what I mean by that is not woo-woo, it's not mystical, it's an energy, it's a vibration. And it's through the spirits and those who have passed, but it's also through beings that are more aware and a little more evolved and a little more conscious. Now, I know the question that might come up in your mind is, if this is true, why don't they rescue and stop all this? But the reason why that doesn't happen this way is because we signed up to have a human experience, and we signed up to be in this realm and have that human experience. So there can't be a great interference of rescuing and saving. That is why you don't follow other people. That is why you listen to yourself and you listen to your inner self. That is why you don't worship people and their ideas, okay? That realm isn't looking for you to be bowing down to them and grateful for all their greatness and all that. They are not. They're looking to assist. They can assist and they can guide. So this is the time for you to decide what you believe. It's not a blind leap of faith, by the way. You can ask for signs and confirmations and say, hey, I need to know, is this happening? Can you really help me? Can you really hear me? Can you guide me? Show me, because I'm having a really hard time. Abso-damn-lutely, you can, and go for it, and please do. And I'm just saying to you that there is another realm within a realm. And as you have this time to slow down, and I say this to people all the time when people say, why don't I see and why don't I hear? And I go, because we're busy, 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 doing so much that we tend to block it off. So as you have this time to slow down, take this time to try to listen and trust and hear, and let's evolve. It's time to rise up and evolve into who we really were meant to be. And this is where I get emotional. Remember home. Remember who you are. Be the warrior through the light. Stand tall in that. This is the time. And that means not just for yourself, but for all of us connected. So with that, I take a cheers to you, and let's do a cheers to all of those working tirelessly, and all of us. It's not just this group or that group. Anybody who has doing a service, who has working in a service for one another, who has tried to create a service for one another. But let's do a cheers to all of us doing a service. Even if you are stuck at home, there's ways that you can still provide your service to someone else. And I don't mean just financially, but it can be that too. Think outside the box, think outside of what you normally have done, and find that way. People are doing it. People are doing it. They are thinking outside the box. So cheers to all of us rising up, evolving, staying awake. Follow yourself, follow no one. You are born with these answers inside of you. Remember them, remember who you are. I have posted some things on my Instagram and on my community page. I have cut all of my readings in half, 50%, for those who are interested. I'm going to be doing classes a little more often. The next one's remote viewing. This isn't a promo. It's just people have asked me, am I going to be putting more content? And, you know, things like that. People have asked me, so I'm giving you the info. I'm also going to be doing more and more content on here, and it's here to you free. And on Instagram, I'm doing lives, and I'm going to be on here. I'm also posting information on my Instagram about things that you, resources that I'm finding out. I have a lot of family that is very connected into resources, so I've been posting that in my stories about meals for kids that are in schools and unemployment and things like that. So I'll update it as I learn. Thank you so much. Follow yourself. Again, listen to your inner voice, and we are not alone. See you soon.